It's April 19th, 2016. This is your Lake of the Ozarks fishing report for the upper part of the lake, the upper Osage area. This report is courtesy of Joe's Lake Ozark Guide Service. Right now the lake level is 657.5, so the lake is only about 2.5 feet below summer pool, so the lake is definitely on the rise. Water temperature staying pretty steady around 62 degrees. So what we've been seeing with the bass in the upper lake area is that they are definitely in the spawning mode. We are catching fish in the spawning pockets, catching fish also just outside of the spawning pockets, and so that's kind of what's going on at the lake. So if you're coming down this weekend for the Big Bass Bash, I expect more fish to move into the spawning pockets, and that'll help you locate some fish a little bit easier. All right, let me show you what kind of type of lures we're using to catch the fish. Tradition, as we always do, we're using a crocodigator jig, trimmed with a crocodigator ring crawl trailer. When you get in the spawning pockets and you're fishing in and around the spawning beds, the shaky head is an excellent lure to use. This is a crocodigator stand-up head with a zoom trick worm attached to it. Very, very good bait to use. Another lure you can use is a tube. Tube's a good lure to use as you pitch in underneath the dock runways to the spawning pockets. And then don't forget the wacky worm. It's also an excellent choice when fish are spawning. And one little trick I'll show you on the wacky worm. Oftentimes when we hook this wacky worm through the mid body of the bait, it doesn't last very long. You catch one or two fish and you got to get a new worm because the plastic tears. One of the things we've learned to make your worms last a little longer is just take you a standard O-ring that you would use like on a faucet O-ring, slide it over the worm about halfway up, take your worm hook you would normally take, hook it between the O-ring and the worm, and there you go. You're still going to get that same action on the worm that you would before, and you won't go through as many worms this way. So it'll save you a little bit of money because everybody's fishing on a budget. So this is a really good way. But the wacky worm, we fish this weightless, just like you see right here. Pitch it under the runway and just twitch it and let it fall. And a lot of times those fish will come up and grab that as it falls. With the water temperature being above 60, it's topwater time. The buzz bait's a good choice right now. Zara Spooks. And a bait I like to throw a lot is the Pop-R. Pop-R is a very good bait. You can move it, stop it, give fish a chance to track it and see it. If you notice up here in the dirtier water in the upper lake area, I really like to use a bone color. It just seems to work really, really well. I think colors might be a little overrated when it comes to topwater lures. So you stay with some of the natural shad patterns. Bone looks like a shad, when they're looking up. The water has cleared up a little bit since we had our last report, so I think that's kind of moved the fish off the banks a little bit. They don't seem to be right on the banks like they were. If you're coming up this weekend for the Big Bass Bash, good luck. First off, be safe. There's going to be a lot of people out there. There isn't that one really magic lure that traditionally every year wins this event. Every lure in the tackle box can catch a big fish. So my suggestion to you, if you're fishing the bash this weekend, go to an area that you have confidence in, that you've caught big fish before. Use a lure that you have confidence in, that you've caught big fish before on, and just fish that area very thoroughly. It's going to be very difficult to map out a game plan and decide that I'm going to fish this creek first and then go to that one, then go to that one, because by the time you leave your first spot and you go to the next spot, there could be 2, 3, or 4, or 5 boats sitting on it. So go to your main area right off the bat, and when you get there, fish the lure you have the most confidence in, but be careful. If you're going to be fishing in the upper Osage area in the bash, one of the things I've noticed the last couple days is because as the lake has come up, it has also gotten a lot of debris floating out in the main channel. So be careful, because a lot of the anglers will be motoring to their spots before sun comes up. So you just want to be aware, be careful, and most of all, good luck and have fun this weekend. Thank you.